If you're a home service business owner, you found this video at the right time. You're probably looking for a more consistent way to get high-paying clients. In this video, I'm going to show you what 7- and 8-figure home service owners consider to be the most efficient way to fill your calendar with high-paying clients. Real quick, if you're new to the channel, my name is Noah Igler, and I've helped dozens of blue-collar businesses get more high-paying clients by appearing at the top of Google. So here is my 100K a month home service SEO strategy to rank #1 on Google. This strategy alone has helped over 20 businesses within different home service industries get to at least 100K a month in additional revenue just by appearing at the top of Google. And so not only has this strategy helped scale companies, but it has helped companies scale to the point of 7- and 8-figure exits. We've worked with a plumbing company who had a 7-figure exit. We've worked with an HVAC company who had multiple locations and they had an 8-figure exit. So Google looks for two things when it comes to ranking businesses at the top. The first is being relevant to the user search, and the next is being trustworthy enough in Google's eyes to be that top ranking business. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly how we can achieve both of these and rank at the top and get 100 clients a month and scale your company and look for an 8-figure exit. So where do we do it? With local SEO for the home service industry, actually about 70% of your leads are going to be coming from the Google business profile. This is that Google Maps profile that you see when you look up your business if you're not already aware of it. And about 30% of the leads will be coming from your website. So common misconception is that the website's the most important thing for the home service industry, and that is completely not true. While you do need a really good website to help convert customers, 70% of people are actually going to be finding you through your Google business profile if you do things correctly. So what will actually drive these results and bring your profile and your website to the top of Google? So for the Google business profile, there's really 4 major things that you want to focus on to actually get it ranking at the top. The first is reviews and responding to reviews. This helps with the trust side of Google. The next is profile optimization. This helps with relevancy. We want to make sure that we have the right keywords on the profile, that we're targeting the right keywords and really showing Google, what our main services are. The next is posting and activity, and this kind of plays under that relevancy as well as trust, kind of showing that you are active on Google. And then finally, local citations. And local citations are essentially profiles in local business directories. This also helps show Google that you are a trustworthy business. And for the website, the main 4 points are optimizing the pages correctly. That shows Google that we are relevant to each search. Having really good content, which is also on the relevancy side of things. Having a really strong backlink profile, so showing Google that we have what is called domain authority. And this plays on the trustworthy side of things. And then finally, optimizing the conversion rate. This isn't really for either trust or relevancy, but this is making sure that all of that traffic that we do get, we can actually convert into paying customers. So let's jump right into it. I'm first going to walk you through what makes a really good Google business profile and how do we optimize it correctly. So I'm going to search for an HVAC in Austin, Texas, and these results are actually really interesting. As you can see, I'm not in Austin, Texas, so it's not showing me anything that's necessarily locationally relevant to me at least, but it's really interesting. We can see the first ranking HVAC in Austin, Texas has 4.9 stars, 2.7K reviews, and the one under it is 4.8 with 15K reviews, so over 5 times as many reviews as the top ranking one, which shows us that their SEO is really good. So if we take a look off the rip, we can see they have a huge company. They have good photos of their team members. This is a whole team. Photo. They have a really good bio, longtime family-owned company, blah, blah, blah. And they have all the necessary information. So their address, they have their phone number, they have their hours, which is 24 hours, and their areas served. And if we look a little bit more at the profile, 4.9 stars with nearly 3,000 reviews is absolutely ridiculous. A lot of these HVAC companies in major cities will have an absurd amount of reviews. So this is, kind of what you can expect to see. And this is the reason why they are ranking at the top primarily. Reviews actually play probably the biggest role out of any other of the factors in ranking your Google business profile at the top. And so with 4.9 stars and nearly 3,000 reviews, it's going to be difficult to beat them. So if we look at the actual reviews themselves, we can see that the owner is responding to every single review. And they clearly have either an in-house SEO guy or they're working with an agency, because their responses to the reviews are just really, really good. Let me break that down for you. So they acknowledge the person. Hey, thanks for the kind words, Chris. And then they instantly mention their business, their service, heating and air conditioning, which is also their name, and their location in Austin. So what this does is, look at this. They're just keyword stuffing. So in the review, they're putting keywords that Google's looking for, and this helps Google rank them for these keywords. They also respond to every single review. And it'll probably take us a little while to find a bad review. And if we scroll down and found a 1-star review, they've probably responded to it as well. So with reviews, with the good reviews, you want to make sure you respond, say thanks for the review, try to put some keywords in your response. And then for those bad reviews, just try to handle it offline. So offer to make things right, say sorry about your experience, we'll make things right offline, shoot us an email, give us a call, etc. So their company name does actually have heating and air conditioning in the business name, which is, very strategic. These are two of the biggest keywords, heating and air conditioning. And so they don't really have to try to squeeze that keyword in there. But if your business name is just Makolo and it's not heating and air conditioning, I would recommend putting that in there, or at least, AC repair or heater repair, just so you can kind of get an upper leg and have a keyword in your title. Having the right category is also really important. So they're an air conditioning repair service, whereas if we click on some of these other ones, they're actually an HVAC contractor. So this is totally up to you. It looks like they've kind of niched down and they're focusing on air conditioning, but obviously they service everything else. So let's take a look at the photos. They have really good team photos. So of their contractors, of their big team, of their trucks. This just builds a lot of authority, but they also have photos of actual projects that they're doing. So if you can see here, these are really good photos of their team. They actually have little captions on each photo as well. So you can see they just have so much authority. They have really good photos on here. Ideally, I recommend posting at least once a month with some new photos. That's kind of optimal. And then really the last section of the Google Business Profile optimization is posting. So you can see if you scroll down, you can actually post on the profile. If you're doing it yourself, it's going to be add an update, and then you'll just add an update. You can put in an image or a graphic or a video, and then you can put in this little caption here with keywords, benefits of working with them, etc. And you want to be posting at least 2 to 3 times a week optimally. It looks like they're doing it about twice a week, with some gaps in between, but ideally 2 to 3 times a week. So the next section is building profiles in local business directories. And what this does is it sets up your profile there. So if people are searching, that could be an extra lead source, but that's really going to be only, 2 to 3% of what this is going to help with. The main goal is to show Google that we are authoritative, that you have, a legitimate business. You're putting yourself into real business directories. So the first one we're going to look for is the area code and then area.com. This is one of the best business directories out there that you can just kind of publicly put yourself in. So you can just click on claim my business and then fill out the information. And it's super simple. Just make sure that you use the exact same information you're using on your Google business profile. So the same exact address, the same exact phone number with the same formatting, and the same exact business name. You don't want to change any of this. This is called NAP, name, address, phone number, consistency. And this is really important for Google. And really you can just look up, Austin, Texas business directory. and just look at all these. So you want to build one in the Austin Chamber of Commerce. This is super, super powerful. And pretty simple. Join the chamber, or you can scroll down to the bottom, and it looks like, it's just at the top. So just join the chamber, fill out your information, etc., etc. And there's so many other business directories. So you can click on the West Austin Chamber, the U.S. Chamber, sunsetvalley.org has some. And these are just all examples of business directories that you can fill out and put your business in, and then it will show Google you are authoritative, and it will help you rank at the top just like them. So now that we're done with the Google business profile, we're going to move on to the website. So I'm just going to use the same exact search here, HVAC Austin, Texas, and we are going to look at this top ranking HVAC right here. What they're doing is really impressive because they're ranking above Reddit, which, typically the local Reddit is what's going to rank at the top in a lot of these searches, at least for the websites. So we're going to click on them. They're clearly doing something right. As you can see, they have a really good website, just built for conversions. So you can see they have kind of an interactive form here. Let's fill out our information. Let's get that free quote. We can look at the discounts that they have. Looks like they have quite a few discounts here. So this is all just super enticing, and this website is absolutely built for conversions. They have, if you are an HVAC contractor, you could model your website after this, but they've done a really good job at showing Google that they are not only relevant to searches, but also authoritative, and we are going to get into that in a second here. So as you can see here, the H1 header, or the biggest header, you only want to have one of them, which they do, and in this header, you want to put your keyword, you want to put your target keyword in there. So they're actually pushing for 3 different keywords here. HVAC, plumbing, and electrical specialists, which is definitely not what I recommend for a brand new website. But they're obviously, they have an insane amount of authority. They're ranking at the top for HVAC, so it's working. And then what you want to see is you can scroll through and actually just notice that they have, different keywords spliced through the page. They have all these different keywords, and they have different sections or pages for them. Looking at the website architecture here, you can see that their nav bar has an insane amount of pages. It's not like the more pages the better always, but when you have the right pages set up, what it shows Google is that you cover this wide range of services. So if you're an HVAC, you want to have HVAC pages, you want to have service pages for every different HVAC service. For air conditioning, you want to have pages for every single air conditioning service. And what they do, we can just take a look. AC repair. They have a discount. They have schedule my service. This is a amazing website. And then playing back on that trust part of things, they have their Google reviews embedded on here, which is really good. So we've touched on the content of the website. Let's just talk a little bit about the optimization. So using an SEO tool here, it shows me, using an SEO tool here called Detailed SEO, it shows me the meta elements of this website. So what we're looking for is keyword in the page title. So we have AC and heating specialists, or HVAC and plumbing. In the description, they have also the keyword, so trusted, air conditioning and heating experts, cooling, plumbing, heating. And then in the H1 header, which is the most important header, we also want to have the keywords that we're trying to rank for here. This isn't actually a perfect example because they're ranking at the top. They have a crazy amount of authority and Google reviews, and so Google already trusts them. So it's really less important about, making sure you have the perfect keyword in there. But if you're an HVAC company in Austin, I would have your target keyword probably something like, HVAC company, Austin, Texas. And I would put that in the H1, in the page title, and in the page description. So looking here, this is the H1 header. This is the most important header. You want to make sure you only have one of these, and you want to make sure you have your keywords in there. And then just generally throughout the rest of the page, they do have sections with keywords. So Austin's HVAC services, they go into detail. They have keywords in the actual paragraph text. And they have plumbing services, they have drain services, electrical, they have everything. So they have content for every single, part of their service. So we've touched on 3 out of 4 things for the website. We walked through how to optimize the website for SEO, so putting those keywords in the right locations. We've talked about the good content on this website and showing Google that we are trustworthy, and showing Google that we are relevant by having pages for every single main service. We also want to show Google that we are relevant in the area. So they have different service locations here, as you can see, different locations, and they have different locational pages, which is super important. So building out location pages for every single one of your kind of target sub locations. So Georgetown, Texas, instead of just Austin. And finally, we've talked about the conversion rate optimization here. So if we just click on a page, it has a discount, it has call us today. I'd be willing to bet these pages convert like crazy. All right, if you enjoyed this video, please drop a like and subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be posting 2 to 3 videos every single week on home service industry SEO, helping you guys take your business from invisible to ranking at the top of Google and getting 50, 100, 250, 500 calls every single month just from Google. And if you want my help getting your business more high-paying jobs in your calendar by ranking at the top of Google search, book a free consultation with me at the first link in the description. Take care.